Hello, my beautiful friends. My name is Miranda. Welcome to my universe, and today I'm going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag. I love doing this video every year. It's one of my favorites. I love talking about the books that I have read and the books that I love. So let's get into it. This video will be me answering a bunch of different questions about the 28 books that I have read in the past 6 months. If you haven't already, I would recommend watching my video where I talk about all of the books that I have read so far this year. I recently published it literally just this week, so go ahead and watch that. Only if you want to, though. I'm not gonna force you, obviously. All right, and this tag starts off right with a bang. The first question is, what is the best book that you have read so far this year? I honestly think that this year is being set up to be one of my best reading years of my life. I have so many different books that I could choose for this question, but I genuinely think I'm going to have to go with The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. And I know I read the first 2 books in Lord of the Rings, and I bet you're like, Miranda, why didn't you choose one of those? Listen, I'm gonna talk about those later, okay? But The Hobbit just has a hold of my heart, people. I love this book. I love the characters. I love Bilbo Baggins and the dynamics with all of the dwarves. I just think that this book is filled with so much love and happiness, and I cannot stop talking about it. You have to understand. The second question is, what is the best sequel you have read so far this year? Now, I give you The Two Towers. What a ride this is, you know what I mean? Like, first of all, Middle Earth. Second of all, Aragorn and Legolas, the 2 like hottest men I've ever read about in my entire life and seen on movie. That's all I'm gonna say. I love this story. I think that Tolkien did a great job with this sequel, and I'm currently in the middle of Return of the King, so we'll see how he ends up wrapping up the series. I have not seen the movie, so I have no idea what's going to happen. The next question is, what is a new release that has been released in the past 6 months that you have not read yet? I'm gonna give you 2 answers for this one because I really want to read them very soon. We have Chain of Thorns, which I can't believe I haven't read that yet. It is by Cassandra Clare, one of my favorite authors, but I feel like I'm going to have to reread Chain of Gold and Chain of Iron, which are the 2 books in the series that come before Chain of Thorns, in order to read it, because I forget quite a lot about the first 2 books. As well as The Stolen Heir by Holly Black. I'll take this one out. Stolen Heir is a new book that takes place in the same setting and in the same fantasy world as The Cruel Prince, so I am in anticipation for this read as well. Question number 4 is a release that is coming out in the second half of 2023 that I am really looking forward to. Now, I made a video all about this, but I'm going to have to say Holly by Stephen King. I absolutely love the main character, Holly Gibney, and I am so excited that she gets her own novel finally. She is a side character in many of Stephen King's other novels, so it's about dang time she can get some main character action. The next question is the biggest disappointment. I'm gonna break some hearts, like I keep breaking hearts when it comes to this book, but I'm gonna have to say Salem's Lot for this one. I think that this was so hyped for me to the point where I read it and I was so let down. I don't understand all of the talk about this book. I felt like it was very mediocre in my opinion, and it was overall very disappointing. I did not enjoy it hardly as much as I thought I was going to. And the next question is the biggest surprise. I have to say Fourth Wing, because I jumped on the bandwagon for this one, and I don't usually do that because usually when I do that, I end up a little disappointed. But this one, holy freaking crap, I am in love with this book. This is a young adult / adult fantasy romance story about a girl who learns how to ride dragons and this mysterious boy who is forbidden from her. I really enjoyed this book, and it was honestly to the point where I was so shocked by my own enjoyment. Like, I really couldn't believe that I loved it this much. Like, this is a crazy TikTok famous book. Like, everybody and their mom talks about it online. It took the internet by storm, and I kind of was like, okay, this is really overhyped. I'm gonna read this and absolutely hate it because it's so overhyped. But no, I feel them. I understand it now. I am rereading it. I'm planning on making a review for it very soon. The next question is favorite new author, either new to you or new in general. And I'm going to say an author that is new to me, J.R.R. Tolkien, my boy. Oh my gosh, I love him. I talk about him all the time on my channel now. Like, he's getting up there with Stephen King at this point. You know what I'm saying? I am bamboozled, by the way. I have not read Lord of the Rings yet. Like, this is the year that I chose to read Lord of the Rings. And honestly, I love it. Wouldn't change a thing. I just wish I would have read it sooner. Oh my gosh, this world is freaking incredible. And Tolkien's voice is magnificent. It sounds like water running down my back when I'm in the desert. That's like the best, oddly specific way to describe it. The 8th question is my newest fictional crush. And there are many different people I can talk about for this one. I am going to say Aragorn though. I'm not even ashamed of it. I thought it was going to be Legolas because book Legolas is just perfection in my mind, but the movies did Aragorn so freaking good. He's also a ranger and a little mysterious, and I really like that in a man. He's got a lot of depth to him. He's got a lot going for him. Like, I absolutely adore him. The next question is newest favorite character. And I could be super basic and say Samwise from Lord of the Rings, but I thought I would change it up, switch it up a little bit, and throw you a curveball. We're gonna go with Xander Hawthorne in the Inheritance Games series. Xander is the youngest son in the series. I believe he's like 17 or 18, but this man is a genius and he is so funny and quirky. He's so random. This guy says the most absurd things at the most absurd times in conversations, and I love it so much. But I love the other Hawthorne boys as well. Grayson? Whoa! Wow. The next question is a book that made you cry, and though I could pick many different books for this because several books have made me cry, I think I'm going to give this honorary award to Mere Christianity by Lewis. This book made me really dive deep into my faith and think about things I have never thought about in my life. I loved it. I cried a lot. I laughed a lot. I thought it was a beautiful book. This honestly changed my perspective. And the next question is a book that made you happy. For this one, I'm gonna have to go with Fairy Tale by Stephen King. I really loved this book and I got a kick out of seeing Stephen King write a fairy tale story. I loved it. Fantasy is one of my favorite genres and Stephen King is one of my favorite authors, so it was a combination of a lot of good things, made me very happy while reading this. The next question is the most beautiful book that you have obtained so far this year. I can give you multiple answers to this. My Lord of the Rings copy of all 3 books. I'm gonna actually put the dust jacket on so I can show you. Hold on. It's just fantastic. The elven writing, oh my gosh, I love it so much. And I love that the eye is on the actual hardcover and not the paper. Just so many things I love and appreciate about this copy. But I also could say my annotated edition of the Screw Tape Letters because I am freaking obsessed with this. The 13th question is, what books do you still need to read? I have a lot of them, as you could assume. I am currently reading Wuthering Heights for the 2nd time, and I am also reading Return of the King, so obviously I would love to finish those. I also would love to read the Dark Tower series, all of them by Stephen King. I have all of them, but I don't want to unearth them from my shelves, so I'm just going to show you The Gunslinger. I really have been encouraged to read this series, and I'm looking forward to it, as well as I want to read Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I have yet to read any of Sanderson's books, and I've heard that this is a really great start. I also want to read Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, as well as Shatter Me. There's a lot, guys. There's a lot I want to read. And then the last question is, what is your favorite book to movie adaptation that you have seen this year? I'm gonna have to go with Shawshank Redemption, baby. I have never seen the movie until after I read this book, and I read this book this year, so it was amazing. I cried so much. This story is so moving, and I think they did a really amazing job putting it onto the screen. I also could have said Boogeyman by Stephen King. No, my second answer would definitely be The Black Phone, because that movie was much better than The Boogeyman, in my opinion. But you know, that's just my opinion. All right, and that is it for the questions that I have to answer in this tag. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have read any of these books, you want to read any of these books, please comment down below, as well as comment all your thoughts, feelings, concerns. I will definitely answer you. Keep your eyes peeled. Thank you so much for watching and supporting me. I love you so much. Please be safe, make good choices, and I definitely will be seeing you next time. Bye!